real quick. If you were still trying to like be young after that intro you just did right there, you old. I'm just let you know that. You sounded you were straight uncle just now. Yo, life, take the good with the bad. Do you remember hearing that when you was young? Take the good with the Welcome back. Episode 2, Lost Cause Podcast. I'm Timeline Bryce. Always with me, my partner in crime, Day Queasy. How you feeling today, man?
Man, I'm feeling good. A little tired. Got to go to work in a couple of hours, but blessed. Feeling good.
Absolutely.
Get to this money. I know a lot of people have been complaining lately, but you gotta take the good days with the bad days. Overall, I'm still here. I'm still breathing, so I'm alive, and I'm happy for that.
All right, real quick. If you were still trying to like be young after that intro you just did right there, you old. I'm just let you know that. You were straight uncle just now. Yo, life, take the good with the bad. Do you remember hearing that when you was young? Take the good with the Listen, because we used to joke about stuff like that. Yes,
and
all the time.
One of the things that people always say, you don't understand it till you understand it.
Yeah.
Time is undefeated.
Yeah.
Even if you feel, man, I ain't going to never be this way, time is going to force you.
It's going
that way.
Yeah.
You're going to go through things in your life that you're going to go through body changes in your life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you remember when you was in your 20s and you was into sports, and you're like, man, I ain't going to never lose this juice.
Yeah.
Then you turn 40 and 45.
Yo.
You can't do what you used to do. And that's just overall period. So, like, one of the things, that I wished at our culture we would have focused on, which we don't, is grind hard early in your life so you can enjoy the end of your life. Yep. Because the amount of work and grind that you could put in the beginning of your life versus the end of your life is different. The grind ain't going to be the same when you're 50 years old. You can't move in the hustle how you
physically.
Can
we ain't even talking about the mental, just physically.
Just from a physical standpoint.
Yeah.
So call me whatever, but I embrace my age because I meet too many people who don't act their age. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and people was trying to make me feel bad, like, oh, bro, you sound so old. And it's like, no, I sound my age.
Sound your age, yeah.
It's you who's trying to live like you're still in your 20s or you still in your early 30s. Like, nah, you should be embracing
actually like
middle age now.
You made it to 30. Be happy.
But it is what it is,
Nah, it was just funny because even knowing you from when I first met you, that wouldn't have been the way you introduced yourself.
Oh no. That
would have not been it. That wouldn't have been it.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah.
Taking the good,
totally different.
Good with the bad. What is?
Yeah, it would have been a completely different intro.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
No, but that's cool though. Let's get into the topic for today. So like we said, this podcast we're gonna be real transparent with a lot of things. So me and Dave, we go through our weeks and we work, we have families, but we check in and we check in on a lot of different things that go on during the week. So one of the things that was spoke about, and we put it into a title. The title is gonna be, is gold digging or money chasing a racial thing, right? And that
I remember those times. I remember that.
Yeah, it came from a conversation I had with one of my elders. I don't want to say who, because then people gonna know who it is when you know what I'm saying. So I don't want to say who, but yeah, one of my elders, and we were just talking about the celebrities and what's going on with the females and money. And I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to make this a woman thing either, because there's a lot of men out here gold diggers.
Yeah, because it's so many different layers
Yeah.
to this. Like, it's no, first of all, right? Like, this is not a red pill channel. Like,
No,
so it's
no,
not like,
not at
oh,
all.
we
Not at
hate
all.
women.
Not at
This is
all.
not a feminist channel where we hate men. No,
Yeah,
we
no.
leave
No.
both parties
Yeah.
accountable. And there is definitely a such thing as gold digging, but there's also, and a lot of men will probably disagree with me when I say this, it's a lot of dudes who really don't know the roles and responsibilities of being a man.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
even as a quote unquote poor man, there's still certain things as a man that a woman looks for her man to do. So what I would say is with the gold digger stuff, this is exactly how I look at it. And even a female that's being real with herself would say the same thing.
Yeah.
No man or woman should ever ask a other partner for something that they cannot afford. Meaning, if you never ever purchased this item yourself, you never experienced this life yourself, you cannot go in asking for something that you can't provide.
That you saw on
yourself.
Instagram.
You should definitely stick within your tax bracket. What does that mean? Because a lot of people clearly don't understand what that means. That means that when you look outside, right, and you see there's a Dunkin' Donuts or a Dollar Tree or any type of discount store, that's usually within your bracket. Rather if you're a man or a woman, doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah, this is both sides. This is both. Yeah, this is not just women. This is
when
both.
When you live in an area where they have little cafes and Starbucks and
Different things going
a
on.
little bit more pristine stuff. Things usually tend to cost more in that area. People tend to make a little
Juice
bit more
bars.
money. Juice, and it increases.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if this is your tax bracket, this is what you can afford, this is your cost of living, that's what you should stick to. Because when you're dealing with, and usually it's only like this when you're dealing with a woman who's used to a certain lifestyle. If you, as a man who's coming in and she's already accustomed to that, I won't call her a gold digger because this is what she does for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I would say is she's definitely disqualifying herself from a lot of people because unfortunately there's not a lot of men that make a lot of money, and the men that make a lot of money probably not looking for her because they got the
They got the pick of the litter. Pick of the litter.
Right,
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that's why I said it's such a slippery slope with that. So, like, a lot of times, successful women get to this point in their life where they get stuck.
Yeah.
They don't want to date down, and the guys that's on their financial level ain't looking at them.
Ain't looking at them.
So,
Yeah.
does that make her a gold digger? No, absolutely not. She can afford these things on her own.
Yeah.
What I would tell women who make a lot of money, and this is unpopular to a lot of women, they don't want to hear it. When you start making a certain amount of money, chances of you finding a man making as much as you or more is slim. You have an extremely high chance of meeting a hard-working $40,000 to $50,000 a year man, and I can make it do it, make it work. But of course, the whole dating down thing for most women, they don't want to do that. You got women who make $30,000 a year who don't want a man making $40,000,
so real quick,
$50,000.
because we're gonna get into what I was talking about with the elder, but something you said.
Okay.
You said the hard working 9 to 5 man getting with a woman that makes way more. So how does a man continue to be a man? Like, because I feel like society right now is making it to where money is masculinity. Like whoever got the most money in the situation, I feel like the way society is putting it, they run the situation. So how does is that on the man, or is that on the woman, that woman that he's dealing with, to still let that man be a man?
So here's the thing with that, right? I'm gonna answer that, but I'm gonna break it down a little bit more to where people can understand where I'm coming from before I say what I say.
Okay.
That's like equivalent, right, I feel like there's no such thing as being selective, meaning
Okay.
that you're masculine 100% of the time and you're a woman and feminine 100% of the time. It's no different if when I first met my girl and I was being zesty and not paying bills and doing all the non-manly things and told my girl, oh, I'm only going to be manly and do manly things once I get married to you. So for now,
Mm.
you just gonna have to
This is what you
accept
get. This is what you get.
this is what
Yeah.
you get until we get married. And it's no different from a female. Like
Okay.
if you wanna be a wife, you gotta move like a wife.
Be a wife. Okay. Okay.
100% of the time.
That makes sense.
So when you are being your role 100% of the time and you're not being selective when you choose to be,
Money shouldn't
then-
even be a factor.
then
Okay.
right shouldn't even be a factor to that.
Okay,
Because you
okay.
move in your femininity in such a way where if you made $1 million, you still gonna allow your man to lead.
You a maid, but you still a woman. You still a
You
wife.
still
Okay.
a woman.
Okay.
The
Okay.
problem, and this is why I said in the very beginning, this is not a red pill channel. This is not a feminist channel. I look at things fair. You
Yeah.
may agree with me sometimes. You may not agree with me sometimes, and that's cool. But when I look at life, I look at things as just it being fair. We do not live in a traditional lifestyle anymore, and that's probably never going to happen.
It
Ever
is what it
again.
is. It
like
is what
that
it is.
was the past.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do, we're trying to find a middle ground because clearly men were still living the traditional life for so long that now men are starting to realize like, oh wow, like we're getting the end of the stick because women has decided to live the modern lifestyle but still want the traditional treatment, and that's where it's like no.
But I think that's both
It
sides
don't
too.
work that way.
Because I see a lot of men want a wife,
and
but don't conduct themselves. And it's like,
exactly.
how you
And
gonna?
you're right.
Oh, okay, okay.
Right.
Yeah. 'Cause
No,
how you
you're
gonna get
right.
that? Yeah.
But you're right, and you said it. You beat me to it. You know, I like to work my way into it. Like, but you pretty much beat me to it. Like, and that's why I said, like, even like now, do me myself? I may have more traditional ways, but
Yeah.
I'm not 100% traditional. It's no way. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I didn't grow up in that time. You know, my mother is not a traditional person. I wasn't raised to be a traditional person, so I'm not. Now, as I became a man, you know, and I started thinking with logic and started making more, you know, logical or traditional, you know,
And going through shit
decisions,
yourself.
you know what I'm saying? And going through
Yeah.
stuff myself and realizing like, wow, when I did this, this is what happens. When I do this, this is what happens. When I start taking accountability, wow, this is what happens. Like these are all things I had to go through myself.
Yeah.
And I know we're going way off topic
Yeah,
from what the original thing
it's
is.
to land.
But-
But these are the little things that play into
But you
whole topic
cannot.
we're talking about. Yeah, this.
Yeah, but
it
you
plays
cannot, man or female, absolutely, you cannot pick and choose when you want to be feminine or masculine. So to pretty much the answer to that question is no, it should not matter how much money the man or
Okay.
woman is making because there's roles in the house and that's how it should be. It should be no other way. Now today, things are different, and I
Yeah.
feel like you got to find your person that works for you. Me, I don't really believe in a partnership relationship. I believe in the man is the man who runs his household. So that means I wanted to find somebody who was more in line with me.
Yeah.
My woman feel like she shouldn't be out there having to work crazy amount of overtime. She just want to be, you know, somebody who stays home and just take care of the kid. That works for us. For
Yeah.
somebody else, it may be something totally different.
See, we
and
do.
that's cool.
What I did to you, you just did to me, Paul. So you just said what I was about to say. So, like, I think the problem is people can't understand that it's not one way no more. I feel like it was one way before. Like it was just how it was. Men did this, women did this. I don't think people understand now. For your thing to work, it has to be what works for you two, not what works for the world. Like, cause like you said, see, my woman is opposite. Like she, instead of me battling with her about stay home, she want to go to work. Like she wants to, but she understands. She still lets me be the man. You know what I'm saying? Like her going to work doesn't take away. Like the other day, this is what we do, y'all. This is what we do. So the other day, the toilet bowl was stopped up. Toilet bowl stopped up the whole day. I'm at work. So I come home. I'm like, why you didn't do it? She said, you're the man. I'm not going to take away what you do as a man. I said, why did you think that? She said, because you would have came home. I would have said, the toilet bowl was stopped up. I did it. And then your response would have been, that's my job. Let me do that. I said, damn, you're right. So, like, it's still that balance. And I think that's the problem. A lot of people think, oh, it's one way it has to go. No, everybody has we all got different lives. We all do different things. We all have different goals, aspirations. So whatever works for your household, let it work for your household.
I do have because whoever's watching this, I don't want you to think that I'm okay. Because I feel like the way I was talking, I don't want to come off how I think people may want it to come off. Yeah. I'm not completely saying run your household 100% any old type of way you want to.
Yeah,
no, that's not what I'm saying.
No.
Because people running their household any way they want to is how we are in the state that we are in.
How we was raised.
The state that we're in today is due to how we was raised.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that. I won't even go. I won't go as. And I will also say that yes, there are multiple ways of raising a family.
Yes.
But there are definitely wrong ways of raising a family.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
100%.
I want to put that out there because it's like I know me and you be having our conversations and it just be one-on-one. But now that we got other people tuning in and listening,
we gotta pay attention.
I want to pay attention and make sure.
Okay.
So because I don't want to give people that green light. Like, oh, I can just know.
No,
is a certain way you should run your household.
There's definitely a balance. Yeah.
It's always be a balance, 100%. Especially if you got children, because it's good to see, kids see that balance, seeing what's daddy roles. If you have a daughter, your daughter gets to see how her father is and how her father moves. She gets to see how her mother treats her father, because that plays a very key role. Like a lot of times when I see women and how they treat men, and they treat them in such a disgusting way, more times than not, they didn't have their father in their life, so they didn't have that memory muscle skills of knowing how to treat a man. Instead is these men ain't. Or a dude that having a father in his house.
Yeah.
And he's very emotional. You may step on his sneaker and now he ready to shoot you. And it's like, bro.
What's up with you?
It's a sneaker.
Yeah.
So you notice certain things. And again, you know these things because some of us live them situations ourselves, but we had to relearn, grow out of them, them old ways, and you know how they say, what is it? Something with the out, something with the new,
and with the new,
yeah. So you got to get rid of all the bad habits, so you can get in the good habits, and that takes time. Know what I'm saying? Like I still have bad habits to this day. I'm not perfect.
Listen,
I'm not perfect.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I had to come to the realization that I was mainly raised by my mother. Like my father was in my life, but he wasn't in the household with me. And I had to come to that realization like, yo, a lot of things I do is from a woman.
Yes.
Like how I react to things, how I think about things, how I move. I'm like, yo. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what's going on. A lot of men aren't even
they're not even in tune that they moving like a woman.
Bro, you
like,
moving like a woman.
Yeah. And when you here's the thing, right? And we'll get back to this, right? When I found out the word accountability, right? Because people think like, oh, when you take accountability, it's easy. No.
Listen.
It's the total opposite.
Yo, taking accountability
can it's sometimes it's this own little mini depression that you go.
No, not many. That's you get down.
Like
You be like,
because
oh.
you gotta accept all that crap that you did. Because that you blame everybody. Oh, it's because of this person, because of that person, and I didn't get it because I was black, and I didn't get it because
the white man.
The white, and you start and you go down this rabbit hole, and then when you get hit with accountability, and the only person that you can look at is you.
Yeah,
and
that
it
hurts.
ain't nobody else that you can blame.
It hurts.
And you gotta accept that. You gotta accept that. See, people don't talk about that on the internet. It
hurts.
And that's why it's so hard. This is why I give women grace. And a lot of red pill go, oh, what's wrong with him? I give women grace because that is hard. To own up and take accountability for your shit is hard. Because as a man, it's hard for me. But I have no choice to do it because I'm a man. I have to take accountability.
Yeah.
But we live in a world and time where women don't have to take accountability. So if they don't got to take it, why would they?
Why would they?
So the ones who do, you know, okay, that's somebody you can rock with.
Yeah.
And somebody who don't, I won't say condemn her, show her grace, you know, and just be patient, you know, and try to come up, you know, with different ways, I guess, to come across things. Now, there's some people that I believe that are absolutely. Hello? Oh, yeah, okay. Some people I believe are just absolutely gone. There's no helping them.
Oh, yeah, they're lost causes. They're lost causes. Some people are lost causes. Yeah, some people.
No pun intended.
Yeah,
but I
people,
definitely feel, for sure. You know, there's some people.
That was a good little discussion. That was a good little segue. But look, so let's get it. You know what's funny? Those little things we do, those ain't got nothing to do with the topic. We gonna get into the topic now. That's just Daquan and Bryce talking. I swear that's all that is. But so let's get into the discussion I was having. So I was talking to one of my elders. Okay. So there's I don't know if you was paying attention to the media, but there was a situation going on with basketball player Anthony Edwards. He had a baby mother situation. So long story short, he got a girl pregnant.
Is that the dude who, like, he's a young guy and had sex with an older? Like, I didn't know his name, but I know a little of the story.
He's having a child. I think the child is born already by now. And they had a whole situation with a girl. She was trying to get child support. I mean, she got child support. She tried to move. I
heard about that. Something from Georgia
to LA.
To LA to get more money.
More child support. All right, cool. And I want y'all to understand, we're gonna go on both sides of this when we talking about it. We're gonna go on both sides. So side one, we're gonna start off with the woman. So she tried to do that. She went back and forth. He told her he don't want the kid. He told her, all right, be prepared to have a kid with no father in it. Like, he told her all these things, right? Cool. She said, no, I'm not getting rid of this kid. She fast forward. She tried to move, get more child support, all these different things she tried to do. All right, cool.
Okay.
Now I'm talking to the elder, and I'm telling the elder what's going on. So she go, no. She said, is the girl black? This is the first thing she asked. Is the girl black? I said, yes, she's black. She said, milk 'em dry. I said, oh, okay. That's cool. All right, respect. So, me, you know how I am. I just like a little back and forth. I want to see something. I like to pick people's brain. So I said, cool. You see what's going on with Shannon Sharp? She said, yeah. I said, what you have a problem with that? She said, because the girl is white. So I said, so if the girl is white, she shouldn't get nothing. But if the girl is black, milk 'em dry.
Hold on, before we continue, right? Because a lot of black people get on me because I'm Republican, you know, and I'm not a Democrat. And, you know, people call me racist or Uncle Tom and everything under the sun, right? But then I hear something like this, right? And it makes me feel so great I did not pick that side. Because clearly to me, the true racism,
is on
the
that
true
side.
Bigotry,
that's racist.
Is on that, because that is race. First of all, what you just clarified with me is you don't even like men. Like, we're nothing more than an ATM machine
because
to
it had
you.
It didn't even care about the man.
Because you didn't even care about the story.
At
Like
all.
this is this is why like even I know we talking about something that don't got nothing to do with nothing, but it lands. This is why Megan got away with what she got away with.
Yes.
Because anybody knew that story was a lie.
It was too many holes.
It was too many holes. And the moment she saw that line, the moment the case should have been thrown out. But today, we have a lot, and it's not all women, because you got a lot of women that's riding for men. And shout out to them, even though y'all get called pick-me's, we got your back.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of women who do not like men and only see men as an opportunity. If you got some dollars, they want them dollars. And I look at that situation, homie with the old lady. Homie, you should have knew better. You should have known better. Like, I'm not about to be.
Let's go to the other side.
No. I'm giving them both smoke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're going to go to the men. We're going to go to the men in the situation now. Yeah.
It's 2025.
Exactly.
We know what it is already.
Exactly.
Like, when we was growing up, we was the generation that didn't know. We was the ones who, now women don't do stuff like this. We was the dummies. We didn't know any better. All the information.
People in general did things like that.
All the information you have today, with all the scenarios that happen today, homie, that's on you. Because you should have put a condom on.
No.
Condom.
Look, you want to go even further. Me personally, the way I feel about it right now, I feel like you shouldn't even fuck her.
Oh yeah, that too. But you gotta remember this though, and this is what you gotta understand, because you looking at like, yo, bro, you got all this money, you can have sex with whoever you want. I already know that's what you thinking, but you gotta look at it from this point of view, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these dudes would not be able to pull the type of women that they got if they didn't have that money. A lot of these dudes don't know how to pull women. A lot of these dudes don't know how to talk to women. A lot of these dudes get women based off of who they are in the aura, which is why a lot of times when these guys fall off, they lose their wife and everything else, because they was never him. They just was a sports player,
it was a situation.
It was a situation. Yeah. So it's like, a lot of times is that these guys don't have great skills of having to pick through a good wife, or a lot of times it just be, I want an eye candy, and whatever the eye candy is for the moment, that's what I'm gonna get. But you take away character, you take away who she is as a person.
Quick, can I throw something in there too though? Does because me personally, I've went through a lot of avenues, and I learned, number one, for a man, your father and your circle. So I know. I'm not judging him or nothing, but I know for me personally, this couldn't happen because of a Daquan, because of a Rodney Sr. This wouldn't happen. That girl, I don't care how much money, she wouldn't be able to get around.
Yeah. Like, I get it.
She wouldn't make it into my world.
I get it, but it's not your world.
That's true. I was just saying why
our ideas, what I starting to realize, we're the dinosaurs of society.
True.
Like,
true.
Like, you just got to think, like, everything that happens today, everything that goes on today, for the most part, not everything, but mostly everything, I'm against.
Yeah. And
but I also have to remember,
really agree with.
Right? But I also had to remember when I was in my 20s growing up.
True.
I agreed with everything that was going on. Yeah. Like, I enjoyed life. Like, stuff didn't hit me the same way that it hit me. I didn't understand life the way I understood it now.
Yeah.
So it's just different. You see things different. Like, how many times? Like, I know my favorite rapper growing up as a kid, it was Jim Jones. If you was a real fan, you called him Capo. Like that. He was my dude, bro.
Yeah.
I supported every mixtape, every album.
Hold on, real quick. Can I just say something? Can I say something? I saw an old picture of Daquan, right? He was dressed like Jim Jones. He had the braids. He had the chain going on the side. Yo, I said, Before I could say it, he said, yeah. I said, okay, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. But you know what? I was a kid. I love the Dipset movement at the time. Like if
It was undeniable. It was undeniable.
Like come on,
Yeah,
like in New York, if you was living in it, you felt that energy. Like it was just a dope time, and I had pretty much a good kid experience in that. That was a big chunk of my teenage life. Like really following their music and really being a big fan of them. Now forward today. And I watched Jim Jones. I had to unfollow him. Like, bro, what's wrong with you? You too grown. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even when he came out with the song, which really hurt me with, what really was a downhill for me when he came out with, na 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 na. I'm like, na 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 na.
Yo, stop.
And it just it went downhill, from there for me. And like, it's funny because anybody who knew me back then would go, "Oh yeah, yo, Gay, he was a huge Jim Jones fan. He would defend Jim Jones. Would almost get into fights over, Jim Jones. Like, fan, hard body fan. Like the today me version versus back then, you would never even expect. Like, what?
Yeah.
You thought I was part of Dipset? How much I was riding?
It was Cam.
Like you thought I had a seat there.
It was Cam, Jewels, Freaky Zeke, Jim Jones, and Dick Quincy.
Yo.
Like,
so.
Yo.
It's funny.
It's funny. Really Dipset.
Bro, my MySpace, my top 5 Dipset. Like, I was a huge Dipset fan. If you can find my old page, because I never changed it, it's probably still there with them.
With them on it.
With them on it. Like, so I only bring that up just to tell you, like, the today me now. Like, don't get me wrong, I still appreciate the music. Yeah, but I'm not running to no concerts.
You was into his life at one point.
Yeah, I'm not doing none of that. And and then Jim Jones as a person, separating him from the artist, say I don't like him as the person. That's not a type of person who I will want to be around. I mean, we just totally different.
Yeah.
No beef or nothing, but we just different. But the teenage me, the music. Yeah. When crunk music came out, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, they had that wave, they had it, undeniably. So it's like, man, like,
I know because I was in Harlem at the time. So it was different.
Every Brooklyn dude wanted a Harlem chick. Wow. Dipset. Like, let's be honest. Like, nobody don't want to say it, but let's be honest. Like, nobody was thinking about a Harlem chick until Dipset. Know what I'm saying? You was just fine with your Brooklyn chick. You was just fine with your Staten Island chick. Yep. You was just fine. But Dipset came out, I gotta get me a Harlem chick. Like that again. That water going in. It was that wave. It was that wave. People don't want to accept it. People don't want to talk about it. People try to like throw it under the bus.
The slang, the look, everything.
Yes, man. Like Dipset definitely put Harlem on the back, and but again, here we go again, going too far.
Look, real quick. So. Like you were saying before, after I had that discussion, I said to myself, damn, this is not even, like, this is really, is it a racial thing? Like, is it okay when a black woman does these things to a black man, but then it's wrong when a white woman, like, what makes it right?
So... Well, that's because most black people are still racist.
Okay, that's what I was going to...
That's why.
Because
let's just call it for what it is.
Because Shannon Sharp, like we said, Anthony Edwards, Shannon Sharp, he's 100% wrong too. He should have been dealing with that. I'm not... Because when I said...
Wait, what? Huh? Whoa. Shannon Sharp, wait.
Shannon Sharp is the one that was dealing with the white girl.
What did he do wrong? I'm confused.
Let me rewind.
Yeah, I'm like...
Anthony Edwards situation with the girl trying to get more child support, right? Cool.
Right.
Cool. Shannon Sharp situation, the girl is suing him for $50 million.
Why? Like, I know that, but why? Because he was messing with her?
She said she got sexually assaulted.
But she didn't get sexually assaulted. They was into role playing.
Listen, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not even worried about none of that. I was just having that discussion about females trying to get money.
What that plays a part, because again, right is right, wrong is wrong. You know, in that particular situation, you know, that we took about before, right? When the girl tricked the old boy into getting that baby. You can't trick a nigga into getting some.
No, wait.
So
wait.
hold on.
Okay,
So
because I'm not doing that. I wasn't going that way with it.
No.
Okay.
I know you not. So what I'm saying is that, listen, at the end of the day, you still gotta pay, like, cause you had no business not wearing a condom, and like you said earlier, he should not even been touching her.
Yeah.
So your accountability would be you gotta pay. Her accountability would be you're having a baby by a man who doesn't love you, who don't want you. Your child is going to have a tough time.
Rough.
And you think your child's not going to have a tough time because there's money involved.
Mm-hmm.
There's other things. We're both fathers. We're both parents. There's other things in play that you need to be a parent besides just money. A lot more things.
A lot.
So you are putting your kid at a disadvantage. A huge disadvantage. And then the fact that you're having a baby by a famous basketball player
high-profile person,
nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
You got to think, what would that do to that kid?
And he got
on
other
a
kids that he
level?
deal with. Like,
So that means he want to be around these kids.
Yeah.
But and you got to think about this as a mom, but you're not, because you're too busy worrying about the money. That's why that whole situation is toxic and evil.
So let me.
And everybody is getting theirs.
So let me break. So the Shannon Sharp, I'm gonna show you where I tried to make the correlation. So the text messages came out, and it showed that she told him, "I need 50,000, 25,000 for each butt cheek," right?
Right.
So she wanted 50,000 for her to.
That's insane.
Look, 50,000 for everything to go be quiet. She wanted 50,000, right? So she's already extorting him, right? This is before anything ever came out of anything. Then he goes and they show publicly he's about to sign $100 million podcast deal. A couple of days later, a lawsuit comes out for 50 mil. So what I'm saying is, I get what you're saying. You're 100% right what you're saying. I'm just saying, no matter the tactic or the way how this happened and what, at the end of the day, there's somebody trying to gain financially from dealing with a man.
Yeah.
So what I was talking, so that's what I'm saying. What I was talking about with the elder, it wasn't about what the situations was and how long and what was. It was just, do you think it would be right for how these people are going about extorting these people? They didn't care about what was going on. They just was like, one is a black woman, she should milk him dry. One's a white woman, she shouldn't get anything. I don't like interracial. That was the whole. We didn't even get into the realm of what happened and what was going on. So I just was like, damn, does it even matter? Should it matter if the person is white, black, Chinese, whatever? What should matter is we should look at the morals and, like you said, the evilness that's behind what's going on. It's evilness behind these things. I don't care what nobody say. Like we said, we're going to keep on saying it. Anthony Edwards are 100% wrong. There's no way going around that. Shannon Sharp are 100% wrong.
Wait, and that's where I think I disagree.
Why?
How is he wrong?
Number one, he shouldn't have been dealing with a 17, 18-year-old girl. And listen. He shouldn't have been dealing with an 18-year-old girl and not thinking there would be some type of consequences on this if she didn't stay happy.
Hold on.
That's on it. Yes, that's on. You have to take accountability for that.
No, that's not taking accountability. What you're basically saying is, right? Like you're basically saying this girl is 18 years of age, which is legal.
Okay.
Which is legal.
Okay.
Okay. He's with a legal woman, and he has to worry about
Yes.
about. Well, then that's any woman. Then that's not just an 18-year-old.
No. I'm saying what was wrong in him specifically.
But
he
that's
should've
been
knew.
this. No. But see, that's what's been going around on the internet because she's young. And here's the thing, right? And this is why I get on women, right? A man like me who grew up in the hood, right? I was in high school at one point. I was in junior high school at one point. And y'all same chicks that's going online talking about, oh, you trying to get these young chicks. You was them same young chicks dealing with them drug dealers, dealing with them scammers, dealing with them CEOs of companies while calling guys like me brokies because you trying to get to the bag. So the problem is, here's the real problem, and this is what nobody wants to talk about, and this is why I get mad. No, a lot of y'all old women, y'all old hags, you aged out. You aged out. So because Shannon Sharp is no longer looking at you because you aged out, now you have a problem with it. So you didn't have a problem with it 20 years ago when you was the one getting picked. But now that you're not getting picked no more, now you trying to, oh, these men are pedophiles and these men are going after young women, and I disagree with that.
But it ain't
you
about
know,
the woman thinking about she 18. I'm talking about when you said Anthony Edwards gotta take accountability for knowing the woman, and he shouldn't have did this, he shouldn't have did that.
Right.
As a high profile man, Shannon Sharp should know better than to do what he did with that 18-year-old girl. I don't care about her being legal or whatever. You know what you're getting. You know what you're getting dealing with an 18-year-old OnlyFans girl.
Wait, she's on OnlyFans?
Yes.
So time out. That makes what I say way. So okay, let's get this right here. We already know that they was into role playing, and she's an OnlyFans model. She's 18. She's at legal age. He was having fun with her. She decided to extort him for money. He has proof that it was nothing of the sort. He has proof. He's put out the proof that no, this is just role play. Then I feel like as a man he covered bases.
You think
he covered bases. What I think is happening is that what I said from the beginning. The world don't like men today. So even with the proof right in your face, even with the proof right in your face, people will still try to switch and change the narrative. Like for niggas, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna let you cook. That actor, the dude who was dealing with the white chick, and he ran from her.
Jonathan Majors.
Because she's white, women was like, "Oh, I'm not defending him. Because it's a white chick."
Yeah.
Not the fact that on video, right? Forget wordplay. You see him running.
True.
What I'm simply saying is, in today's time, it has, unless it's crazy hard proof. Yeah. Sometimes people keep be looking at the proof right in their face, and because they don't like the scenario or the situation, they going, I ain't rocking with him because it was a white girl. All right, and that's come on, man. I can't control your racism. I can't control you hating men on the low, but you pretend that you really love men. I can't control that.
True, that's true.
That's out of my control. You know, I can't do that. But I feel Shannon Sharp, he's a man with money. He's single. He can do whatever. He can have sex with a 50-year-old. He can have sex with an 18-year-old. I don't have it as long as it's consent. As long as it's agreed upon, I don't care with that. My only issue is but for the men and women that are out there complaining, it's because your time is over. And I know this because when I was growing up, I was the guy who nobody looked at. Yeah. As I got older, I became the guy that they looked at. Why? Because all the guys that they looked at locked up.
Dead.
We all thought it was going to be a basketball or football player, but they had managed a Foot Locker. Yeah. So it's like, you know, I was the one who had a decent job with no kids, and I was like, ooh, they. Like, so it was my turn.
So real quick.
It's all about turns, and you know, unfortunately, you ran your turn out. You was that same girl doing the same thing. We just didn't have social media that had a freaking camera on you. But all of us, we knew what y'all was doing. We all knew when you left high school 4 periods early and you got in that BMW, we all knew what the heck you was doing.
Yeah, that
Stop
was
it.
definitely a thing. It's definitely a
Stop
thing.
it.
It was
Stop
definitely
it.
a thing.
We knew. We
Real
knew.
quick. All right, so look, let me give you a scenario.
All right.
So, fast forward 5 years, right?
Okay.
We up. I'm up, right? I'm the guy right now. I'm the one, right? I'm the one that's everything going on. You my dog, right? You my dog. I come to you, yo, they queasy. Listen, I backtracked. I went to the hood, right?
Okay.
I got a little something from Shaban Boo, right?
Okay.
I got a little thing. Now she trying to get me talking about she going to expose me if I don't.
That's your fault. That's your fault.
That's your fault. But wait. Listen, let me finish.
Okay.
So, boom, I hit you. What's the first thing? Say it again. What's the first thing you're gonna say?
It's your fault.
Now, wait. Why? Why is it my fault?
Because you went to the hood.
Okay.
Like, here's the thing, right? I don't like, and me just finding the Lord, I don't condone people out here cheating, but people, the flesh sometimes you can't defeat that. But what I would say is this.
Don't go to the hood though. Let me change it, cause
I'm gonna hold on. Hold on. Let me finish. But if you are gonna be a man with means of money and you are going to be doing stuff like this, it's 2 things you can do. The first thing is going to your wife, talking to her about it, and y'all can agree that you can have a little joint. And then another thing is, when you make money like that, it's called professional escorts.
Okay.
So again, there's ways of how you do things.
Okay.
When you making money like that, and this is why I said Shannon Sharp, when you said OnlyFans, I'm like, so he did his job. That's her job.
So
she literally, that's her job.
So you don't think okay, so you don't think in the grand scheme of things, he should have thought like, damn, this could be a problem. Right
No,
here.
he went to a professional. Her profession is OnlyFans, according to you.
Yeah, she's an OnlyFans model.
Meaning that she's gonna do some OnlyFans things, meaning she's gonna want some to exchange for some services. We know what OnlyFans is. We don't gotta flat out say it.
What do you think is
what
the
beef
problem?
is? She's white.
So no, I wanted you to get to that.
White.
So
that's all it is.
So you think? So if that was an 18-year-old black girl doing
then
this,
all the women would have been at uproar. The only here's the thing, right? Black women are just mad because, from my understanding, 2 reasons. It's a young girl and it's a white girl, so that means he don't like black women, which that doesn't mean that. Maybe he's a man who like women of all colors, and it just so happened that this is the color he want for right now.
So we want for the season, yeah.
The problem is that a lot of our sisters are so racist. Like, no, you can only want us. You can't want nothing else.
Yeah,
and that's kind of racist. Like, what do you mean I can't have nothing else besides you? And then to not talk about the monkey in the room, a lot of y'all didn't even want these type of guys until they became who they were.
That's true.
Y'all bypass these guys. Y'all call them lames and cornies and geeks, and these other nationality women pick them up. And then when they become some of themselves, oh, this man don't like black women, and it's like if you understood the whole black story, that had nothing to do with it. He actually wanted a sister. You didn't want him. So I definitely don't think Shannon Sharp did anything wrong.
Do you think?
I don't think so.
Do you think it would be a different conversation if roles was turned? So say it was a 50, I think he's like 57-year-old white woman. Very, she's successful in whatever she's doing, with a 18, 19-year-old black man, and the black man is trying to extort her. Do you think people would be more on that bandwagon? Or it would still be
No, it would still be
because she's
people
white.
are
Just because she's white.
No, because she's a woman. You got to look at it like that. Like, you got to look, like, there's been cases that I saw where I seen a teacher who had relations with a student, had sex with him, had his baby. She went to jail, got out of jail, and put him on child support because she needed help taking care of the baby, and she was successful at it. So the whole system is wonky.
So you think it? So okay, so in the grand scheme, you saying it's a system thing, and then internally it's a racial thing. So
Both.
so
Yeah, it's
so in the bigger scale, bigger scale, it wouldn't even matter if it was black or white, or it's a woman going against a man. That's what they doing. That's all it is in the grand scheme. But in the inner city, in the inner world, we go, it's a white girl, or like that's what we care about. Like
I don't know how to
because I haven't heard no one go, oh, it's a man versus a woman, or only thing I hear with this situation more is because she's a white girl. But just now when I reverse
it depends.
You saying
you know what it is?
It would still be a man going against a woman.
Listen, the fact that you have a multi-millionaire having sex with a young, attractive woman. Forget about the race for a second.
Yeah.
We are, like, today, right? You know what I mean? Like, back in the 90s, right? And a lot of the ladies today didn't know this, because a lot of women today are the first millionaires. Like,
no, this
women
is the
was
first,
not experiencing money like that. So
this is the first set of them.
what I would say is that I don't think nobody truly really understood the impact of what the 90s did, what the late 80s and 90s, how it would impact today, and how we operate and how we move as a whole society. Because there was certain key things I feel like in the past that kind of pumped to where things
we
are
at
at
now.
today.
Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to find a way to like dissect this and say it in a way to where it could be understandable. Like we live in such a peaceful time right now in America that we damn near don't have to worry about nothing. We got clean water, we got AC, we got the internet, like we got machines doing the work for us, we got AI technology. I mean, women are getting BBLs to look good for us or whatever. Like there's so many. You got DoorDash where food can come to you. Like we got so much dope things going on in our life as humans.
Yeah.
That I feel, this is just me personally, this is not a fact, me making an educated guess here. I feel that because life is so good, women are bored and you're creating fake chaotic stuff that don't need to be. And it shouldn't be a gender war, but it definitely is.
Yeah.
And when you say, well, why? Because there's nothing else going on.
There's nothing else to really
It's
go
too
back
peaceful.
Yeah.
There's no wars. There's no when COVID happened, you seen shit kind of died out because everybody was talking about COVID.
Yeah.
Now COVID over.
That was the common denominator for everybody. COVID. Yeah.
Now that COVID is over, everybody back to their bull. Know what I'm saying? So it's like, as long as the world is at peace and everything is moving, it's people gonna find ways. And it's like, growing up as a kid, people was just happy to have a roof over their head.
It's true. That's true.
Like
Food
now,
on Thanksgiving, that was the
now it's organic, it's high rise.
Yeah.
People too good for a Honda anymore.
Yeah.
People too good for a Nissan anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, know what I'm saying? I got me a nice little Nissan. I'm good. Know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know, like, so it's like.
You got a nice little Nissan?
Yeah, nice little Nissan. I don't care. Do your little jokes. Y'all can have the little BMWs.
You said it. You made me feel away because I got a nice little Nissan too.
Oh, well, hey, listen. You hear some of these women, they'll humble you real fast. Like, girl, I pay $450 a month for my shit. They like, I only drive dudes who drive Mercedes and better. Well, I'm like, I know what my code note now is now, and that's a lot. I can imagine how much somebody's paying for a BMW car note. I don't want it. I'm good.
I can't imagine
I don't want it.
because I wouldn't do it.
I can't afford it.
Yeah,
You can have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So times are different. Like I remember growing up as a kid. Like I remember if you was a bus driver,
You was a man.
lit. Then an interview came out a couple of years ago talking about some. Oh, I don't want to date a bus driver. I want a guy who owned a bus. And it's like,
Damn.
that's the time we live in now.
Damn.
Like I remember driving a bus or driving a train. That was a dope job. And postal, like people respect it. Like yeah, you make good money. But
that
like
UPS, that brown suit.
now, it's like times are different. If you ain't making six figures or you got a job that like nope. So it's war because now what ends up happening is that men are gonna do what they need to do to attract women, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a given. So whatever the women like,
That's
men
natural.
are going to become that.
Yeah, that's natural
To get the woman.
Yeah, that's how the world
If
goes.
a man, so hear me out, ladies. If a man can't get it organically, and we see this a lot, they start finessing. We know the word finessing, and the finessing game has been going on for so many years. To now, everybody finessing everybody, even down to women. What do you mean? How do women finesse? Makeup, filters. That is a finesse. I cannot tell you how many times people told me like, "Yo, Shorty look nothing like that." I'm like, "What you mean?" Like, "Yo, I went on a date with Shorty, not like it." Or you'll see people Instagrams and they look like they living the best life.
Yo,
behind scenes,
that's gonna be a whole other topic because
living.
Remember in Amazon?
Yay, right?
She wanted to fight me. She was mad at me.
So, hey, people live, people live one life on Instagram, and like all of that toxic poison stuff is, I feel like, what fueled gender versus woman, and what broke the camel in the back was the two groups, which was the red pill and the feminist movement.
That.
And once that kind of like started building up.
That's really a war. That was a war.
It's a war.
Yeah,
it's not a
war.
physical one, but go on YouTube. Back and forth. Like, it's to the point where like some of it can't be organic. It got to be a money grab.
Yeah,
because there's so much of it.
Yeah,
there's so much bashing men, so much bashing women, and it's kind of like, how are we all supposed to live amongst each other and get along with each other, but yet hate each other so much.
Hate each other. A man need a woman need a man, but
and just leave it like that.
Just leave it like that, bro.
When we start devaluing the man or we start devaluing the woman, we both lose. Nobody wins.
Hey.
I hear men say, "Oh, men can survive without a woman, live the rest of their life." I mean, maybe survive, but who wants to survive? I want to live, and it ain't nothing like living when you got a woman in your house.
You sugarcoating that shit. Survive? No, we can't survive.
So yeah, I don't want to survive. Survive is eating fucking noodles and.
I can after the first couple of months, niggas gonna start looking around like, who cooking?
So yeah. I need my woman. She's very appreciated.
Who I'm gonna talk to? Because at the end of the day, that's who I talk to the most. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I don't know what y'all talking about.
So yeah, listen, man, I get it. A lot of y'all probably never had a good woman, or a lot of y'all probably never had a good man. So that's why this is like going over your head. But when you get that one, and that one for you, man, it's a great feeling to win.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like you can achieve and do things you thought you wouldn't do because you just got that person right there that's gonna ride with you, no matter what. Like, I remember when I said, "All right, babe, I want to move here," and it was like, "All right."
Let's do it.
Wherever you go, I'm following you.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I love shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like I know, like, she's no matter what decision I'm gonna make, she gonna ride with me because she knows I'm only gonna do what's best for us overall. So yeah, man.
It's funny you say that. I was listening to a podcast. It was a pastor on it. His name is Michael Todd. He runs Transformation Church, and he was saying like
Transformation. I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's called Transformation. Look it up when we get off.
Okay.
So he was just saying like, he was like, yo, if women was to like just understand how strong what they have to give to a man. He said one time they ordered a computer, like a computer desk, and the computer desk had like it was a crazy amount of pieces. So he said, in his mind, he like, yo, I can't do this. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, he said his wife was bigging him up so good. Like, babe, you know you could make that table. You know you could, babe. That ain't nothing. He said by the end of the day, he had that table. He had it done. He said,
Yo,
like, oh, hold up.
that's the woman's superpower. It's not in jumping in your man face. It's not going back and forth with your man, because you'll never win that. You know what I'm saying? You physically, you just can't. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you have a superpower in something completely different. You can disarm a man. You can damn near get a man to do whatever you want with just being sweet and nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, when I come home from work and dinner be already made, you know what I'm saying? She'll have like, she'll have my little, I don't drink heavy, so I get like wine coolers. When I come home from work, my wine cooler be sitting there ready. You know what I'm saying? She'll have my little snack there for me, so I can just go out on, on the porch and just, sip on my little wine cooler and just relax for that first 10 minutes.
Hold on, real quick.
So she just automatically does that for me.
Hold on, real quick. You living pretty good.
What do you mean?
You said you come home and get your wine cooler and you go on the porch?
Yeah.
So you live
I'm sorry.
You doing pretty good for yourself.
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
Anybody watching right now? When people go, they doing okay. They doing pretty good for themselves.
I'm doing okay.
I was talking to a nigga in a Lamborghini. He was like, I'm doing all right. I had to look around. I said,
yeah, that's all right. There's levels to it. See, yeah, I'm okay. He's all right.
Yeah,
and then anything after all right is, you don't say shit, because you
ain't got nothing. He said, you can see I'm doing good.
Yeah, like, because once you get to a point where you making it, you don't even want to say it, because it's like, you don't know who ain't getting it, and you don't, so it's like, I'ma just walk past everybody and pretend like I don't know what's happening. But I'm doing okay. You know what it is with me? Like, no, I don't make an overly crazy amount of money. It's what I picked as a priority. Now I'm saying, like, some people may want to buy the Gucci and the Louis clothes. Me, I like name brands, but I'm more of a Nike guy. That's my budget range.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a working 9 to 5 Nike, Jordan,
So real quick,
that type of range. I'm not foreign range.
When because I know the answer, but I want to see if you're gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
When the tax bracket change, will that change?
No.
Okay. All right.
Now there are certain things that I would want. Like, I probably feel like, because me and my girl, we want a dream car, and our dream cars are pretty expensive. And I know my girl. Now I feel like it would change for her, but me,
she doesn't count.
nah.
That's in a woman's nature. We not even going. That's a whole other podcast.
Like me, I'm more of a techie guy anyway. So I feel like this type of stuff that I want, it would be in-house. It would be making sure I got a good entertainment system. Yeah, I'll have a teched out computer. I'll have a nice entertainment system. I'll make sure my house is nice. Make sure when people come over, like, they don't want to leave, but they gotta go home. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm about being comfortable in my own world. I'm not about to. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't want.
It's like superficial, where it's like, I got all the outside things and then come
home. I'm good. Cause like, even my girl like nice things, but I'm like, even her, like, we're very low key into our own world type of people. Like, yes, we both like nice things, but it's like, we ain't killing ourselves trying to be like everybody else. We in our own circle, we in our own world. We know what we can afford, we know what we can't afford, we know what we can pick up, what we can't pick up, and it's like we make sacrifices. So for example, because we don't wear foreign or buying foreign cars, we're able to live in a gated, nice community. because that's where our money go towards. I don't go out and spend money on expensive things. This is why I'm able to hook up my house or buy things in the house to, make things nice. You know what I'm saying? My girl has her own spa kit in the bathroom. Like her own spa.
People, I hope y'all listening to notice he said he doing okay. All right. And then he threw in a gated community. He's proving his point. Where his money goes, it shows. But he tried to say he lived okay, but he lives in a gated community, and his lady has a spa.
No.
No. Hey,
No.
It's recorded.
No. Cause no. I'm gonna pitch y'all on game.
Yeah,
Go on Amazon. You can go on Amazon, right? No, real talk. Like you don't like instead of y'all going out, right, and spending all this money, right, cause you want to take pictures in the spa and like, yo, you can buy all this stuff yourself and do it from home. Granted, the initial amount was pretty high, but the upkeep is so low, and she get to do it anytime she want.
He gets the job done. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we got, I just got a few more items I gotta get, and she got a whole kit set up.
So real quick, cause you know me, I'm from Harlem. I'm flashy. So when I pull up to your gated community in a Lambo, what you you gonna be like, yo, why you buy that?
Nah, listen, no, that's your money. You understand what I'm saying? Like, listen, I don't knock how people spend their money. I only knock when they start complaining. Cause you have a choice. Like a lot of people, like from the hood, like people say this all the time, right? I'm like, oh, you only saying it because you don't live in the hood no more. I'm like, no, bro. I'm like, yo, a lot of y'all, I lived in the hood. And I made the same mistakes that a lot of people in the hood make.
Yeah.
Everybody too busy trying to keep up with everybody. That
keeping up with the Joneses.
it's right. That's the word I was looking for. It's called keeping up with the Joneses. Me, one day I decided that I don't want to keep up with the Joneses because keeping up with the Joneses, we all struggling on the inside, whether we want to accept it or not.
We talk, we know.
Yeah. So it's like now is. Do I still go through rough times from time to time? Heck yeah, because I'm not rich.
Yeah.
But all I'm simply saying is that when I get my money, I delegate it in places where it needs to be delegated, and I'm not overspending. I don't like. Don't get me wrong. When we go food shopping, I have a budget. You know what I'm saying? May go a little $50 over the budget. But for the most part, we stay within our budget. We already have a grocery list before we get in the store. So we already know what we picking up before we get in there. Okay. Like we have a system that works for us. You understand what I'm saying?
So can I say to sum it all up? Is it that you invest in yourself, like you invest into home base?
Yes.
Because when I say invest, people think it's just money. When I say invest, I mean you're the type to, okay, I'm gonna live in a certain place. We're doing a podcast. I'm gonna have a good microphone. Like you're the type to invest in home to keep home moving. Okay, no,
yeah,
that's the way. Yeah.
And again, do I like nice things? Yeah, I do, but I don't think I like it as much as the average person. Yeah. And I think that is why I'm able to get ahead when it comes to certain areas. Like, don't get me wrong, it's other areas people may be winning in. Like, I may go to the hood, I may go to the Ville right now, and you may go to that person's closet, and they'll destroy me. Closet will destroy me.
Brownsville, by the way.
They closet will destroy me. They will have gear they probably didn't even wear yet. They will destroy me. If it came to a car.
But they laying on the air mattress.
They car. Well, yeah. I got a regular little Nissan. They will probably destroy me in that area too. There's some areas where, yeah, okay, fine, yeah, you're doing better than me. But what I feel, the areas that I want to be comfortable in, that I care about, those are the areas that I'm successful in. Having a nice place, you know what I'm saying? Making sure my family's safe when I'm at work, working 12 hours a day, 6-7 days a week. I need to make sure that my family's safe. these are things that I think about. You know, a running good, decent car. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Safe
You
car.
know,
Yeah.
making sure that there's food in the house for my woman and my son.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like these are the things that a responsible adult I think should be worried
You
about.
know what's funny?
Not no Louis Vuittons that's taken away from my family.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? I was an old friend of mine,
Mhm.
old associate of mine. He one day we was coming home on a trip, and he was like sad on a trip. I mean, sad coming back. I'm like, well,
Mhm.
what you mad? Like, what's you good? He was like, yo, I don't even want to go home. Like, about to go home to the hood. Like, and like that light bulb. I'm like, damn, it's people that go on trips and hate when they come back to their reality. Like, come back to
That's what motivate me to move out the hood.
like you didn't even like
That
that.
that
Yo,
no
that made
no.
me go, damn. And this, I ain't gonna lie, this person is super fly. I'm just because when you said everything you said, it made me like. I used to go to this person's house. I used to be like, damn, this nigga, a lot of clothes, nice car, but we on a trip and you're sad. You're coming home, like
Mhm.
where you gotta be most of the time. Like you don't live in Puerto Rico, you don't live on that resort. You live. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely dig what you're saying.
And that's all it's about. And that's why I said.
because I know you start. I know when you get in your bag, you start talking. So
Oh, not no. So
Yeah.
so again, it has nothing to know. We're not these rich people. What I'm simply saying is, like you just said, bring vacation home. Create the stuff that you would do outside of your home that you think is dope, and bring it home. Now,
Yeah.
am I saying that we don't go on no trips at all? No, I'm not saying that. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is that, like you just said, if I'm home most of the time, that should be the place that I feel the most welcome, the most at peace at.
I
And
should
that's
want to
what
be
we
there.
do.
I should want to be there.
We should both.
Yeah.
We should both want to be there.
Yeah.
Because I do my part to make sure my family's comfortable,
Yeah.
and they do their part so that when I come home, it's all right. I got everything set for you. I'm gonna let you do your thing, and then I'll come in, and after I do that, we'll have our little conversations and
Yeah.
you know, whatever. But like, it's just it works for us.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? And that's cool, because again, what works for us may not work for somebody else, and that's cool. You just find your person that's for you. But yeah, I know
I like
we
that.
are like all over the
Nah,
place.
who cares? Who cares? This is what we do, man. But
Yeah.
we all gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
This is episode 2. This is a good discussion.
Mhm.
Always a good time talking to my brother. You know, like, subscribe, share, comment. Like they always say, we gonna be in the comments. We gonna see what's going on. We gonna ask questions. You know what I'm saying? This is open floor invitation. You know what I'm saying? We definitely going figure out how to start getting people up here. Getting some calls in. We definitely gonna start doing those things. But you know what I'm saying? You got anything for them, Day? You about to get out?
No, like you pretty much said it all. Definitely, like I'm all about conversation, so definitely leave some comments down below. If y'all have any recommendations on videos or any topics that you know y'all want us to talk about, definitely leave that also down below. I think when we have our stuff, we should probably maybe leave our emails. That would probably give people an opportunity to like email us and send us videos they may want us to react to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the second episode. Can't wait for the third one. We got a few other projects coming along. So yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
Let's get this started.
Merch on the way too. Merch on the way.
Yep.
Merch on the way. But yeah, till next time, Lost Cause Podcast. We out.
Peace.
Ow.